In this video, I'm going to show you how to do a series of exercises that I call Xing Qigong. You can go to a link in the description to a Wikipedia page that details the concepts a little bit more clearly than I need to talk about for the sake of this exercise. So I'm just going to skip right ahead to the first form or phase, which is the wood element, represented by a rectangle. When I make this shape here, it's easy to see from this angle. Just have forearms parallel. Doesn't matter how close you go. Everyone has different ranges of motion. You can go a little bit wider if that's more comfortable. The primary direction of this is that you want to lengthen from the knuckles away from the body without ruining or compromising your posture of the spine. At a certain point, the knuckles are probably going to end up level with, if you go to a website called yinyanghouse.com, you can find a lot of information on the acupuncture points and channels. The knuckles will roughly end up level with the end of the liver channel as they're extending away from the body. And then from there, what you're going to do is you're going to open up the palms into the next shape of a triangle. Again, you just have an imaginary base connecting the elbows. It's associated with the fire element. So from here, I'm going to sink down into the earth element. Shape is a square, so you're probably not able to see it very well from here, but again, roughly the length of my forearm across 4 points, wrists and elbows, making a square. Okay? So I sink down into a square, sinking through the hips, then I'm going to press through the legs, open back up into the next element, which is the metal element. The associated shape is a circle. And then from here, again, I'm going to sink through the hips a second time, down into the water element. Shape associated with is a curve, so I'm just going to open up the circle a little bit and settle down into that shape. Okay, so I'm just going to go through that again. We have the wood element. The shape is a rectangle. The internal organ associated with that is the liver. We're going to open up into the triangle, representing the fire element. The internal organ associated with that is the heart. You can see level with the center of the chest for the most part. I'm going to sink through the hips. The first time in the cycle, down into the earth element. Internal organ associated with that was the spleen, or the middle digestive system. I'm going to rise up to the metal element. Shape is a circle. The internal organ associated with that is the lungs. So again, I'm level with the upper lung area. Acupuncture channel wise, we have the lung channel going to the thumb, starting just below the collarbone, right about there. Okay. So again, sinking the second time from the hips, spiraling down into a curve for the water element associated with the internal organ of the kidneys. So I'm going to relax the palms up, roughly level with the lower ribs. On the side view, I can show you here, probably a little easier. And I'll just continue with the cycle again. So you just soften the elbows, drive through the feet. The head will rise up, but the knuckles, you want to have a forward direction to their movement. Before you open up too far, come back to the triangle, the fire element and the heart. Lower through the hips into the square for the earth element and the spleen. Rise up for the metal element associated with the lungs. The shape is a circle. And then sink through the hips into the curve, the water element associated with the kidneys. So I'm just going to go a few times through this, just going through one descriptor at a time. So this time I'm just going to go through the elements of wood, fire, earth, metal, and water. Going through the shapes of rectangle, triangle, square, circle, and a curve. Going through the organs of the liver, heart, spleen, lungs, and kidneys. Okay. So again, from this side view, I was going to make a second video for this, but I can probably cover some of the basic fundamentals of the posture and stability you can get with these different exercises if you take your time with them. As I come through with the wood element here, driving strength from the back, there's a certain sense of balance. You want to feel if there's any tension in the back. Ideally, it would be best if that tension is directly opposite your hand position. That's going to help keep you from overextending. So as I'm bringing my hands up, ideally I'll have some tension or strength in the back, stabilizing the movement level with my hands. As my hands come up, you may feel that the tension in the back is rising as well to balance the hand position. So when my knuckles start going forward, if you can have a little bit of an opening in the back, I'll just exaggerate slightly. If you round the back at the height of your hands subtly, you may be able to feel that you can continue the shape. The more you practice this, you can make that movement much less exaggerated, but sometimes it's a useful tool to help you troubleshoot it. So as you're going through, I'm rounding the back slightly level with my knuckles. And I'm trying to control that slowly as it comes up. You can do these as a cycle or a set of exercises to repeat over and over and gain a sense of fluidity with it, or you can do them as individual postures to really open up circulation for different health benefits. So in this exercise here, I'm having the fire element represented, and I can, if I want to, round the back. Again, I'm exaggerating for the video. You don't have to do it so much in your own practice. You may notice that things tighten up. So again, just very subtly though, the focus and awareness of the body could be level with the hand position with the hand. So coming down again. The awareness in the middle area of the back to balance out. Rising back up again. And then coming back down to the low back. This is generally a good area to stay if you want to start with any of your movements for a longer period of time. This one is probably the most relaxing just because the hands are in their lowest position, but the least likely to fatigue the shoulders or the neck if you experience that with any other type of exercises. Again, any tension in the back, roughly opposite the hands, ideally, if you are not able to just maintain a fairly even or relaxed state in general. So if you were to practice slower, you could just try to hold one posture as long as possible. If you feel that any fatigue is building up, instead of saying, I'm done with this exercise for the day, if you've got more time, basically what you want to do is slowly transition it into the next shape. So you're never really holding the movement or the posture perfectly still. You're just making a very slow transformation from one form to the next, and just getting yourself used to circulating and stabilizing the position. So I'm going at pretty much a moderate speed. It's my own personal interest, but you can go at whatever speed is most comfortable. Everyone, they bring something else to the table when they're doing the exercises. If you can't get your head into it, you're not going to practice it. So if you want to go faster, go faster. If you feel like you want to go slower, take as much time as you want, but it's just good to understand that there are different things that you can appreciate at different speeds. You can practice slow, try being perfectly still, but you realize that you're going to have to break that train of thought just to continue through your day. So the same way how in the earlier exercises, how you always return to the middle position, it's always good to vary your speeds as you're practicing as well. So let me know if you have any questions, and I'll keep posting some videos.